Wow. Sheesh. And we back. And we back again. Okay. It's good to be back. It's good to tap in with all of you. It's been an interesting day, interesting morning. Last night I had channeled Janus, the Roman god of doorways, and I think we broke through some kind of a major threshold because I think, especially for the adepts, a lot of shadow integration stuff came up, which is actually powerful, very powerful. What is hiding in the shadows cannot thrive unless it is integrated. It starts to become fractured, right? Distorted, mutated, but sometimes you just have to take that energy back and just try to expand it out, do something with it. So today I noticed I was doing something. I was doing this the other days too, but I'm starting to notice this is a big pattern of mine where I unconsciously feel like getting into coherence again. What is coherence? Mind-heart coherence. I mean, a balance of my hemispheres, right? A brainwave synchronization. That's what I really was looking for through this meditation, I believe. And even though I hadn't set an intention today, I sort of let today be a surrender day. I just letting go into it. But it was nice because I had messaged Ellie little bit before, and she's helping out at her kindergarten and like these creative projects of like making crowns for each other. So that was very positive, and I was very light when I heard that. So I had already started the meditation on a positive note. But what I noticed is my legs like want to cross over like this at times when I'm meditating. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Well, perhaps my brain is seeking some kind of a solace, some kind of a balance, some sense of a harmony of my left brain and right brain working together, kind of like a Da Vinci mode or an inventor mode or a genius mode. Like something is coming through that seems to be this organic sense of awareness, right? And that's kind of what I started to notice with this is like this tendency to cross my legs, right? As I kept it down, grounding it on the floor, I noticed there was a shift being made, and I also noticed a lot of spinal undulations or things happening with my spine, perhaps because of some pain in my mid back and maybe my neck area and lower back a little bit too. But mainly it's my mid back, and I noticed that's the Mengmi point, right? It's like the opposite or the shadow of the solar plexus. It's like I could be taking so much action. I could be, amplifying something in one direction. However, it's showing up as the shadow right behind me in my back or whatever. So, man, that meditation felt forever, bro. It felt like eons or something when it was only like 15, 20 minutes, right? But I was like, man, this feels like an entire hour. Okay. That's how excruciating time felt. Like every second felt like some little micro adjustment being made, right? Like so one little sweat drop, one little like crevice of my body clenching up, one tiny little smidgen of something else, right? It's like, damn, like all these idiosyncrasies of mine, like showing up, and I can't hide any of them, and I can't transmute any of them in the moment. I just have to surrender to the tone, surrender to the powerful frequency of the golden ratio, right? And allow it to kind of reprogram me, repurpose me, put me into back on path again, back on Tao again. And now I'm feeling very sharp and clear. And I love um, understanding that what's happening in society now, as we're kind of pointing fingers, right, at all these celebrities, that we love putting people up on pedestals and then knocking them down, right? Like at first, I noticed in the beginning of this meditation, my mind felt like a crowded railway station, right? Thoughts screaming, old identities coming up, dragging luggage, random memories from the past, trying to trickle in, trying to board trains that don't even exist in the train station, kind of thing, right? And then something snapped violently, not quite, like a volume knob of my ego got turned down from 8 to 2. And I was going, I'm not my identity. I'm not my storyline. I'm not my body. I'm not my mind, right? And this is something that Janos was reflecting yesterday in the meditation at the end. And today I'm feeling like the remnants of that, right? The residue of that channeling yesterday. And by the way, guys, I channel past midnight in my time zone, right? So that's like another factor, right? Because I'm already channeling a liminal deity in a liminal time space pocket, right? So that's already wild. So my spine started to feel like a lit antenna, like subtle heat, climbing up vertebrae by vertebrae. And of course, things of my past started to come in, like, in the future, will I have spondylitis like my grandmother? In the future, what if I get schizophrenia like my great great grandmother did, right? Or stuff like that. I would like scare myself with questions like that. But again, it was just like me deliberately slowing down, like slow golden lava energy coming from source, very deliberate, very intelligent, right? Cleansing out all my chakra points. And my breath wasn't something that I was doing anymore, if that makes sense. It's like there was an ocean breathing my human-shaped core. Ooh, that's poetic. Take note, Shakespeare, okay? And I felt a chest pressure, right, that I've never felt before. There's also one in my head. It's sort of like ice dripping. Let me actually share this with the adepts. Hold on. Okay. Mm, sharing it with the tribe. Just so we have a bigger audience, sharing in this experience with everybody. But yeah, I feel positive. Doesn't my face look different too a little bit? It looks sharper. For some reason, it looks sharper. Anyway, so energy relocated or something, right? My mind descended into my body like a kind of heaven is docking in on Earth, like some kind of a spaceship. And then my thoughts tried to show up, but they felt like hollow thoughts, if that makes sense, right? Like circuit cutouts of thoughts, not actual thoughts, like a sort of hologram of thoughts. Hey, Christos, what's good, brother? Just expressing my day three of going all in with this meditation process. So it's like they'd wobble, my thoughts would wobble, they would rise, they would collapse, and I wasn't fighting them, and I just wasn't feeding them, right? It was like watching soap bubbles form and then slowly start to pop in slow motion. And the weird shit is, at the moment that I realized, oh, this is just happening all by itself, right? I'm not here to micromanage anything. Right? There's no meditator here. There's no controller here. I'm just there's no I'm processing or progressing something or going through some uh step by step, right? No, it's just awareness being aware of awareness, right? A self-licking ice cream cone, bro, like Shunyamurti says, right? So even with eyes closed, the darkness wasn't dark. I was using an eye mask. I was using an eye mask to kind of block the subtle light, but it felt like the darkness had texture like subtle static. It was weird. This time I felt like soft geometric flickers. It was like a black velvet sky with like these microscopic constellations forming or something like that, like breathing in and out. And it wasn't like being on a psychedelic or some kind of DMT circus. But it was like the background code of reality starts humming deeper almost in a sense, huh? When you're super relaxed, like you're so deeply relaxed that your body boundaries start to get fuzzy. You don't know like where the outline of your body ends. That's kind of how I felt. And bro, my hands felt giant. My hands and feet became giant, and my face disappeared. And then my spine felt infinite. It was like my spine was going up to infinity. I was like, wait, I thought my spine ended at the top of my head, like in this area, but it's clearly growing, right? Like an antenna from the top of my head up. I don't know what's going on, right? And so I had a moment of like a micro glitch or an ego panic where I realized there's probably a tiny moment where my ego went, wait, if I let go more, bro, then what happens to me, right? Then what's gonna happen, right? Hey, so Ryan G, more of these also hopping, hoping you refer back to last night's channeling. I did, yeah. In the beginning, I did, brother. Samba, let's go. All the ducks in a row, let's go. Relax, take it easy. Yep. So, man, it's like I was micro tightening and there's like a survival reflex that kicked in, right? It didn't bite, but it just stayed and it passed. It's like a cloud embarrassed that it even showed up, right? So, and then the afterglow was great when I opened my eyes, which it felt like forever. I was there for eons or millennia in this one meditation. Um, but the room looked the same. So that gave me a bit of comfort, right? Kind of relaxation, understanding, okay, I'm here. I'm not somewhere else, right? I'm not stuck in the astral. Good. Okay. Um, and what else? Time got slower, colors got softer, this kind of thing. Just a very grounded presence at the end when I ended it. But yeah, it felt like day one was discipline, day two I felt friction, and day three was like a surrender, like a complete surrender of my identity almost in a sense, because I did not notice that I was a meditator. It's almost I was an experiencer, right, on this ride. I know that sounds weird, but that's what it was. And that tone that I kept listening to is like something that I keep going back to as a baseline that starts to stack and expand, and I can even start to shoot it into different parts of my body to kind of cleanse stuff out. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of really cool. And I'm hoping that day four won't feel super dramatic. But here's the real madness because the divine hides in the ordinary once the noise starts to get silent or the noise drops, and then you're starting to hear the hum right underneath everything. Like when we hype someone up, we make them a legend, right? We call them a guru, we buy all their books, we quote all their scripture, and then the second something messy drops, we grab the popcorn and the pitchfork, right? Same energy we used to build them up, we used to tear them down, and weirdly it feels good, right? The ego loves that shit. That idol crushing rush, it hits different. It hits the ego differently. So here's the thing. I know there's a lot about the Apestein files, okay? Calling it ape because he's an ape, right? He's a Neanderthal. Like this is not a humanoid being, I don't think. Um, while these files are coming out, man, people are going insane. They're going bonkers. They don't know how their they, they don't know how their logical mind can cosmically interact with this information that they are receiving. What do you mean they're hunting people? What do you mean they're underground bases where, kind of like Friday Night at Freddy's, where they have all the kids like go around the garden and they try hunting them? Like, what the flick? I'm trying not to swear. What the flick is going on, right? And right now, it's predictable. People are like scrambling to distance themselves, right? People going, see, I always knew that, right? All the conspiracy theorists, I always knew that shit, right? People are using this moment to trash the whole ideas this of spiritual teachers altogether, and I find that lazy. I find that extremely lazy. Not everything is black and white, hero versus villain, right? And here's the uncomfortable part. You know, Sometimes someone can help millions and still have a shadow, bro, right? Sometimes someone can speak truth and still have an ego. Shocker, right? Big shocker. Humans are messy like that, though. And I don't think Deepak never claimed to be some cha capital G guru, right? With disciples bowing at his feet. No, that label got slapped on him because it sells, right? So business is business, my friends, okay? Maybe. And just maybe we look into ourselves. Why do we need idols in the first place? This is what trips me out right now. Why do we even need idols? Why do we feel so satisfied when idols fall? That says more about us than about them, right? There's a reason that we subconsciously stopped watching Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah and all these people, right? Because we knew there's some weird shit going on in the background, right? Our subconscious knew. It was pride, maybe it was insecurity, it was wanting validation, it was wanting to look cool, and that stuff lives in everybody, man, not just a few elite people, right? It lives in everybody. So don't excuse the shady stuff. Heaven, no. But also don't lose your mind and torch the whole concept of spirituality altogether because one public figure got messy, right? We don't need more bandwagoners, right? We need more discernment now more than ever, right? Good to have you here on the live. This is Ryan G. Back to life, back to monkey. Well, it depends on the mess. Yeah. Remember the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu videos I sent you on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu drama these days? Yeah, 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 yeah. Wild, dude. And yeah, the Epstein stuff is beyond disgusting because when there's a bigger light cycle, there's always the hidden shit that rises up to the surface that we don't want to face. Kind of like the brighter the flashlight, the more dirt that you see under the couch type of shit, right? So it's like, stop making it only about Epstein as a person. He's a doorway, not the whole building, guys, right? If there was a supply, it's because there was a demand, and meaning there's a bigger network, more traffickers, more powerful clients, more like deeper stuff going on that we don't know about, right? And the idea that some rich, well-connected people think they're above the law, right? Like they're hu humans or commodities and rules are for peasants, right? I don't need to follow the law. Like it's basically saying these folks aren't normal corrupt. There's some mutation going on or something, right? The no empathy types, narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic. Hey, have the schizos have got to take down the psychos. That's it, right? The schizos right now, hey, I'm talking to you schizos out there. Get grounded. Get out of the head and into your beingness. Start to embody all that knowledge in your head into your experience and start living from it, right? So we can take these psychos down. That's what I'm saying. Okay? And I'm not saying us versus them, like, no, I'm not trying to like categorize this, but all I'm saying is I just saw Plasma Born actually post about that as well. But you know, I don't want it to go into this stuff. I don't want to talk about politics today. I want to talk about this meditation, but it just seems like the universe itself is kind of going through this process of realizing its stupidity, its aversion, its pride, its jealousy, its attachment to things. Like all this stuff with the labels is coming out, right? And attachment is only attachment to the absolute beyond language, according to me, right? Um, so what if you walked into a monastery, right? Bragging about your meditation gains? They'd smack you upside the head and call you conceited because the desire to improve spiritually is still ego wanting to be superior, right? Real awakening isn't becoming a better you, it's realizing there never was a you to improve. That's why Ramana Maharshi would say, stop reading books, stop collecting concepts, and just ask, who am I? Who am I? Everything else is ego decorating itself, but who's the real you, right? Even psychedelic visions, you mean? You mean the DMT elves that I saw, the angels and demons with crowns of light? Yeah, the same deal. It's the mind projecting its own creativity. None of it is ultimately real, but it's our imagination, just consciousness playing with itself in this infinite dance, right? So this is what's coming up for me right now. And there's no judgment, no opposites, no solid ground anywhere. But here's the wild part. Even calling this truth is so wrong because you can't hold it as a concept, right? The moment you do, you're back in ego. Okay. So the all is illusion idea can spiral into nihilism at times, right? But the original sages weren't saying that nothing matters. They were saying that everything is one indivisible reality beyond time. So that means, hey, Macrobius is a golden chain from God to the mud. Dante, the universe is one single book made of light, right? Same message. Same message. So the bottom line in bro terms is you're not a character trying to become enlightened, right? You are consciousness pretending to be a character. right? And freedom isn't getting somewhere, it's dropping the story that you were never somewhere else, right? And that's the big joke, right? It's like the curtain reveal or whatever. What I what is politics is the meditation. Yeah, yeah, right. But this goes way beyond the essay and more into how money buys influence, how cases get buried, how people get intimidated, how corruption gets normalized, right? Like, why did it take so long? Why did it feel like the system kept trying to shut it down, right? Campaign money and lobbying make it way easy for rich people to bend policies, right? Govern of the people. Yeah, right. Government of the elite. Okay. But I'm not going to go there. Okay. Let's bring it back to this meditation stuff, man. But I think now that my brain is clear from this meditation, I can actually talk about this stuff without it appearing to be fluff. A lot of people are just so attracted to the spiritual drama of all of this. Like, shocking news, headline. It's like the same formula, bro. I'm not trying to raise your serotonin levels. I mean, I'm not trying to deplete your serotonin levels. I'm not trying to deplete your cortisol. I'm trying to increase your baseline of positivity, right? And optimism and looking forward to something and leaning into our edge because Aries is in Neptune now, or Neptune is in Aries now. And so we have to understand this is the age of the spiritual warriors. And we can only be the spiritual warriors if we understand the war within ourselves that is going on right now, right? Our battle with our own envy, our own disgust, our own understandings, right? So yeah, um, I don't think Christos was there, brother, but yeah, try and catch the channelings, bro. They're really transformative. Would love to see you there. But yeah, day three was quite interesting to me because today felt like a big initiation of some sort, right? Even my dad asking me about the Epstein files. He like going, "What's going on with Bill Gates and Deepak Chopra?" Like it never brought that up in the past, but now it's like out in the open. It's not conspiracy theory territory anymore, right? Hey, it's out there. What pisses me off is like, how can a man that speaks about God being such a powerful, beautiful, loving intelligence, right? I'm talking about Mr. Chopra here. How can he say that God is a construct? That just baffles my mind, bro, right? Baffles my mind. Like talking about the divine feminine and then bring your girls, right? It's like, what the? Bro, this world is so fake and phony, dude. So phony, right? Like, what in the world is going on? Hey, Mathis. Welcome, welcome. Helios, the sol invictus. Okay? I'm not doing the Hitler salute. I'm just doing the one arm out salute, okay? Helios, the sol invictus. Invictus kings and queens. All right. So I'm looking at this like it's my watch, but this is actually my watch. This is Ellie's gift. All right. So do we have any questions, guys? Anything coming up? How you experiencing today? It's the 26th. Happy birthday to Ellie's dad. Uh, I'm starting to keep this what do you call it? What do you call it? The one of these and one of these back in my office because it's always needed, right? I don't have to bring my microphone every time over here and over there. You guys can check. They're playing football, soccer out there, right? So yeah, it's always entertaining. No, it's actually cricket. It's actually cricket now. It's changed over. Okay, it was soccer in a little while ago. Or maybe it's both. I don't even know. Anyway, had a tough dream. Dicey questions arose. I'll ask them privately. All right, bro. All good. All good. And yeah, the media wants to make things extra spicy right now as well. It's like they're like really milking this shit, but also at the same time they're hiding it. And it's like, what is actually going on, right? If the mind doesn't know the details, it's gonna fill in the details. You guys realize that, right? If I'm so unaware about something and I have no idea about it, my mind is gonna go, oh, yeah, it's probably like that since past in my third grade that happened. Or like, we use the past to justify the now, right? And so it's like I realized that I was doing this morning and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I still like, consoling and identifying with this trauma that happened to me? Like it's not necessary, it's not needed. It's just my attachment to that storyline that is so crucial for my shadow work and the interpretation that I give it of the masculine perception, right? Because there's masculine healing and feminine healing. Feminine healing is just releasing, crying it out, letting it go, letting it surrender, right? But then there's the perception shift that happens, right? And during this meditation today, I felt a deep expansion within my animus and anima energy. It felt like very grounding in terms of yes, there was a masculine container of energy happening, but there's also a dissolution, right? A dissolving going on. It's always about conquer and divide. And yeah, I get the core, but it can sting emotionally. So grounding intensity is the main quest. Yeah, totally, totally. It's that trauma fuel, right? It's the shock factor. It's the ability to understand that there's something, deeper going on. So yeah, obviously we have to think about this in greater depth. And yeah, I gotta end it right now. I think I have to do some calibration, start some work, and so forth. I think I've gone way past my time limit as well. So I'll see you guys around. Have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. You got this. We got this. Upward Spiral Gang to infinity and beyond. Take care, guys.